Hey everybody, happy Front Row Friday. It's Marilyn Sherman coming to you from Las Vegas. Today's inspirational message is around expectation. I think there's a lot of people that are disappointed lately. And if you go back to the root of their disappointment, it's because probably an expectation wasn't met. So when you are negotiating time, services, contracts, make sure you spend, or even relationships with your interpersonal relationships and your professional relationships, just remember to spend a little extra time up front clarifying expectations on both parties. For example, I have a lot of contractors that work for me that do contract work for my social media or for my videos or for my print media that has to go out to prospects. And it's often where they charge me by the hour for a project. So I've noticed that if they are upfront with how many hours they anticipate the project to take, I'm much better equipped to handle my budget if I know their hourly rate and their expected time frame. But oftentimes people get disappointed because they give an hourly rate and then they don't tell you how long it's going to take to finish that project. So just be clear with people up front, with behaviors, with expectations, with timelines, even if it's to clarify. If someone were to say, I'll get that to you by the end of the week, just stop and say, oh, did you mean Friday or Saturday? By the end of the day. Oh, did you mean 5 o'clock Eastern time or Pacific time? Just a couple of clarifying questions up front are going to help minimize your disappointment later on if they don't fulfill your expectation. And it's interesting where this inspiration of expectations came from. It was an unlikely source for today's Front Row Friday, and that is my Christmas cactus. I don't know anything about Christmas cactuses. All I know is they're called this because I think they're supposed to bloom once a year right around Christmas. Well, we are beyond Christmas. We're way into January, and I forgot about the expectation that this beautiful plant that's on my windowsill would bloom. So today when I woke up and I saw these beautiful blooms, I thought, you know what? This plant has exceeded my expectations. Now, if I had an expectation that this was going to bloom on Christmas Day and I wanted to make sure that it was blooming, I probably would have been disappointed. So just my message for you today is try not to be so disappointed by getting clarity up front when you're working with people or dealing with people or contracting with people, just to get clarity. Do you mean by the end of the day? Eastern time or Pacific time? And those little bits of clarity up front, I guarantee you, are going to minimize your disappointment if said expectation is not met. So on this Front Row Friday, I hope that you have very little disappointment and that you have lots of communication and clarity with the people you work with, people you live with, the people you're in relationships with. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you next week.